Anxiety has been a part of my life for as long as I can remember, but it wasn't until recently that I truly understood where my anxiety was coming from and how it affected me. In high school, I suffered from severe social and situational anxiety. I've always been seen as an outgoing person. I'm very energetic. I'm very talkative, and anyone who's ever heard me laugh knows I'm very loud. I have a perpetual smile on my face, even when I'm asleep, and I generally come off as a happy person. In high school, I never talked about my anxiety, but behind closed doors, I was overwhelmed by an anxiety that was hard for me to comprehend, and I too often shoved under the rug because I didn't know how to cope. I spent countless class periods in the nurse's office feeling sick in a way I didn't understand, and when I tried to explain it to the school nurse or even my friends, no one seemed to understand, or they thought I was overreacting and I was labeled as dramatic. My sophomore year of high school, I found a creative outlet in which I could express myself without having to explain myself. My first ceramic studio lit a fire under me and instilled a passion for the arts and self-expression that I had never experienced before. Through clay, I had a safe platform to explore the world around me. I could come to the ceramic studio and create something that made me happy no matter how else I was feeling that day. I learned about clay throughout history and the significance it carries across cultures. I learned to create and build things with my own two hands. The arts tell us about cultures, emotions, and movements in a way a piece of text cannot. The rhythm and detail of a work of art has the power to non-verbally capture and express moments and ideas. I spent more time in the ceramics studio in high school than I did anywhere else in that building. I came in during lunch, study hall, and before and after school. I loved creating and I wanted to learn more. Through clay, I was able to express what I couldn't speak into words. I learned how to relax my breathing and to focus in on what I could control. My anxiety is very much a part of who I am today, but it no longer holds the same power over me it once did. The arts have been a part of my life for as long as I can remember. Growing up, the arts always played a major role in my means of exploring the world around me and communicating. When we were younger, my brother was nonverbal, and I remember how difficult it was for my family to communicate with him and the frustration that he felt when we didn't understand what he needed. In recent years, art therapy practices have been incorporating more and more into speech therapy. Art therapy engages the language and expression areas of the brain, allowing for the improvement of both sensory and cognitive functions related to speech. Although my younger brother didn't say much growing up, he and I knew each other better than anyone else because we communicated through the arts regularly. Whether we were drawing, painting, or building something together, we always treated it as a collaboration through which we communicated. After years of speech therapy and practice, my brother became a verbal communicator with a better understanding of himself and different forms of communication. Art is a form of nonverbal communication that benefits a variety of students across all age groups. Nonverbal students, students who are English language learners, and students that have experienced trauma all benefit from creative outlets. The incorporation of art therapy practices into art education can provide a more effective and holistic means for healthy social emotional learning. The art classroom is a hub for character development in our students and in ourselves. I believe art has the power to teach us about the world around us. The arts are a creative outlet that provides students with a tool to explore their communities and how they fit into them. The arts build communication skills, aid in the development of healthy coping mechanisms, and provide strong creative outlets for self-expression. All right, look to your left and look to your right. Take a little wave. Statistically, one of the three of you meets the requirements to be diagnosed with an anxiety disorder. A fast heart rate, heavy breathing, and an intense and persistent worry about everyday situation. These are all characteristics of anxiety disorders. According to the Child Mind Institute, an institution focused on mental health and learning disorders in childhood and adolescence, anxiety disorders are the most common mental health disorders in K-12 students. By age 18, 1 in 3 students meets criteria for an anxiety disorder diagnosis, and the average age an individual begins showing signs of mental illness is age 14. But a majority of students don't receive help until adulthood if they ever do. Understanding mental health and developing healthy coping mechanisms is a process. It comes easier for some than it does for others, but for everyone it is a journey of self-discovery and understanding. We're moving towards a future where mental health education is incorporated into every school and becomes an integral part of our curriculum. It's important that educators be trained in recognizing developing problems and managing mental health crisis. In the art classroom, we get the opportunity to explore social, emotional, and behavioral learning through creative means which provide an outlet and release for students that we can use to our advantage in education. As a student and future educator whose education is and has been affected by mental health in the past, I recognize and am passionate about our need as educators to know the signs of anxiety disorders and how they impact our students' learning and their ability to learn. Art is a form of self-expression. world exploration, and nonverbal communication. Every student is capable of creating and living a creative life. The environment of our classroom has the potential to make our students feel welcome and heard. By placing an emphasis on collaboration, we invite our students to participate, and through the arts, we give our students the tools to participate and to express themselves freely through verbal and nonverbal means. Thank you.